Now, most people with aquariums spend a considerable amount of time trying to get rid of as much algae as possible to maintain good aesthetics in the tank. And that is certainly something to trying to aspire to. But I will tell you this, there's a huge benefit to having algae growing in the right spots when it comes to breeding little invertebrates, whether it's snails, shrimp, crayfish, or even if it's just Mopleco, because they'll all eat this algae right here like it's a buffet. And this algae grows right on top of the glass right here, and what happens is my air stones get little bubbles to go up on the surface, and those bubbles have water that hit the surface of this pane of glass right here. Now that pane of glass is right under my LED light. So sooner or later, this tank will start to get a green tinge everywhere because algae is growing on the surface. Well, that's something that my metal algae scraper can take care of in a matter of seconds. But instead of just throwing the algae away, I'll tell you what, these little guys absolutely love this algae. It's that homegrown, all-natural, organic algae, I guess you'd call it. But whatever the case is, I've been doing this kind of thing for years now, and I like it. I actually make sure to collect and harvest as much of this algae as I can, because the way I see it, it's free food that's developing on the side of your glass. Now, it's not like this other algae that grows on the glass where you can't really scrape it and it builds up, or this hair algae stuff that tends to grow. You don't want none of that. That stuff is just icky, and I don't really see much eating that other than maybe a Siamese algae eater, and even then that's a stretch. But I will tell you this, the stuff that grows nice and flat on the surface of your glass up here naturally, it's a good food that turns into an easy buffet that feeds a lot of little critters. And it can be done with any tank that has a glass lid, and I do that. So yeah, nice easy way of feeding your little buddies. And if you got a lot of it grows really fast, store it. You know, I'm sure there's some ways in which you can preserve the algae for later use, because these little guys are just tearing into the algae here, and they is just as happy as can be. Yep. A lot of people spend a lot of time fighting to get rid of algae. I'm finding, in more cases than just one, that sometimes algae can be your friend.